Welcome to Off the Desk. We've got a very special guest today. Will, I don't know how to say your last name. Helmrich?
Helmrich. Surprisingly said how it's spelled.
Right. Okay. What's the background? It sounds German. Is it German?
It is a German last name.
Right. There you go. Yeah. We got Will something on the podcast. Great to have you here, Will. Thanks for coming, mate.
Thanks for having me.
If you just want to roll straight up, tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do? Why are you sitting in this chair? What's going on?
I do the marketing for you boys.
Right.
So it's been over a bit over a year.
Yep.
I think so. Wearing a shirt at the moment. I own and run a marketing company with my brother. Not too dissimilar to you boys, and I suppose that's maybe the relationship that brought us into this space.
Certainly helped, yeah. Plus, you know how to use Instagram, so that was a big tip.
Yeah,
it
was. Typically.
Age appropriate.
We're a little bit challenged in that sense. So,
but run a marketing agency with young people and my brother, and it's been a couple years now, and I live South Brizzy. Don't support the Broncos.
Unacceptable. We'll get into that for sure. Lots to unpack on your team at the moment, but why don't you talk us through it? I know your brother Lockie, you both must be risk tolerant, or maybe you're risk ignorant, if I can say it that way, as young individuals who took the plunge to run their own businesses rather than collect a salary like many people. What made you jump?
That's a good question. I would say big time, but it's been a journey to become not risk adverse. And I would thank my younger brother for that. He didn't go to university. I did. That was, I'd stick the hand up and say, gee whiz, in hindsight, I'd do differently. Would do that differently if I had the opportunity to go back, but I can't. So that's footy.
Straight on.
Yeah, he went straight out of high school and just went, I'm going to use every dollar that I've earned working at Bunnings to run my own company. And I went and collected $50,000 of student debt.
Nice.
And worked a year corporately and went, gee, there's got to be more to life than this. Respectfully.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I only did 14 years in there. It took me a bit longer to work it out than what it did for yourself 1 year in. And Bunnings, did you work at Bunnings too? That was a cracker.
I was at Subway.
Oh, Subway.
Yeah, for years. And
oh, man, just had a foot long. Is there anything you need to tell us about that before we...
Probably not, man.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Oh, I don't want... That could end up... no, we don't want to go there.
That's not.
It's one of the few takeaways we still don't mind eating, so please don't roll it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's healthier. I'm not going to say healthy, because that's probably a stretch, but... There's got to be something real in there, isn't there? Again, don't comment. No comment.
The lettuce, but it still comes in a plastic bag.
Of course it does, and it's still...
No, I'll tell you what, the tomatoes, onions, capsicums come from a farmer in a cardboard box.
Ooh.
I'll give you that.
At least they used to. Who knows about now?
As two non-meat eaters, you probably eat the best.
We do like some of that salad.
Or the veggie patty, but that's all right.
We definitely had the veggie patty. Who knows what's in that one?
Unfortunately, and I'm not sure what this sort of succumbed to, but there was a court case regarding the bread, that it shouldn't be called bread.
Yes, I've heard this.
I'm sure you might have heard it, yeah. Because the sugar content is so
absurd.
astronomically high in the bread that it's more like cake.
It's a cake, yeah.
But don't ask questions. Italian herbs and cheese. Oh, you boys would be
cheese,
rye bread.
mate. Yeah, on rye.
We're
yeah.
Right, man. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It feels healthy. So.
Again, I regret asking the question, so...
I know, let's backtrack from that.
Get straight into it.
Man, tell me about... So Lockie started the biz. Firstly, a couple of questions on that. Why marketing, number one? And number two, was the plan for you to always join one day? Or was Lockie kicking off going, hey, bro, we could do something special here?
It wasn't the plan. Lockie started a media company. So he loved filming stuff in high school and was very good at it.
Yep.
Sort of that storytelling. So he started off in media, and I went to university and studied marketing and design. And the way it came about was Lockie is the best salesperson that I've ever met, and he basically pitched this like fairly large company to do their marketing, and he'd never done it before, like actual marketing, and like he had his great media background, and he was a problem solver, and that's what we all are, just problem solvers. And Lockie's like, I'm not joking, like you've got to quit your job, and we've got to start a marketing company.
I've won this contract and I don't have the skill set. You do.
He's like, I've sold you. Like, you
good.
actually can't continue in your current job.
That's cool.
And I we just went to our sort of mentors and our parents and talked about it, and that huge alarm bells, different generation, and my parents at the time were like, oh, aren't you going to go back to university, Lockie, and study a degree? And when I sort of mourned the loss of maybe working like and making decent money in the corporate world, and went, I'm going to sacrifice everything I've got to work for myself, I went, we're on, quit my job. You know, boss wasn't too happy, and I said to Lockie, you're not ever going back to university, and we're going to send it.
Yeah.
That was a couple of years ago, and here we are, a few staff later, and no turning back now.
How good. How good.
Yeah. And how's it all going?
We have the most fun, and
Nice.
it is so purpose-filled, and yeah, I such a blessing. And to do it with family as well, I don't think many people grasp it, or people don't have the relationship with their siblings in order to do it, and I feel very sorry for them, and that makes me sad that we don't have a culture for that.
Yeah.
In my experience in this country, where people want to work with their siblings, and admirable in your case, and it is the most to get up every morning and go to work with your brother is just how good. What's that like for you, boys?
Yeah, it's good some days.
I was waiting for you to say something.
No, I agree with you. Like, you can't, there's no one else you can have more open conversation with about it. We don't agree on every point, but like most of the time we're on the same path. And like, when you don't agree, you're over it. Where you don't agree quickly anyway, and you normally come together on a pretty good answer. So yeah, I don't think you can have the same. I mean, we don't have the experience of working with a business partner who's not related, but from the outside, where we look at other businesses, particularly other brokerages who have that, it doesn't look the same. Decisions are harder. People are maybe more self-interested than they would otherwise be. Yeah, I think it certainly opens you up where it is a sibling relationship, and you're both driven together, and it's got to work.
Yeah,
like both families are on the line, everything's on the line. Like it just has to work. So you make it work. But yeah, I think it does. It definitely improves the workplace and the culture, having someone you know and trust there.
Big time.
Yeah, and being able to be, completely honest and trustworthy. I think that would be challenging with a business partner. Because I think everyone is naturally self-interested, as Steve said.
Yeah.
And as they should be. Where everyone's in it for themselves here, and you can say otherwise, but like, good luck. You might have a secondary purpose or a secondary idea of, I want to do this because this is why I'm doing that. But really, your number one always comes back to numero uno. And doing that with family, I think you're both number one. I think there's some pros and cons to it though, for sure. Like the pro is that obvious, like openness, trustworthy. Some of the cons, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's a con, but it takes over your life. Because your personal life then is also business. Our dad's involved as a bit of an honorary board member, and our uncle and our wives. Steve's wife works here, and my wife does bits and pieces for us when we need. And weekends we're catching up and we're talking about the business. And when we go to dinner with each other, it's about the business. And so I think like that's a good thing, because we're to be successful, sometimes you need to be obsessed, and we certainly are. But I do think about long term, when you align your identity with what you do, which I am a business owner, I am a broker. That's who I am as a person as well. I think it's going to be hard to separate one day, but that's not for a long time. So I don't have to worry about that.
Well, it's an interesting conversation. I don't know if I fully subscribe to the idea of a work-life balance.
Welcome.
I haven't found it yet, so if you can tell me about yours when you find it.
We have a work balance. Yeah.
It's not that I don't have a work-life balance, but it's what you do can't be who you are. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Your character as a man and a person, and who you are when you close your eyes at the end of the day, outshines anything you could ever do as a human being.
I agree, but I am this at the moment, which I think that one day it needs to separate. So I agree with you saying, but I think that at the moment I wake up and I am the director of KBF, and I go home from work and I am the director of KBF. That's it. And it's kind of a pro and a con, long term. So we'll see how it goes, man.
But you have purpose in that.
Absolutely, I do. I live and breathe, and I love it. I love everything I do. I love waking up and coming to work, as you said. But I think the identity is blurred for me. which is something I've just been thinking about lately. I don't know why that is relative to this conversation, but yeah, something I think that one day needs to be addressed. But for now, I think it's a really big positive. But one day it might not be.
It has motivation there. It's a big thing that I talk about with my friends and family. A big, not mentor, but someone that I look up to is Scotty Scheffler. I'm not sure if you guys, he's the number one golfer in the world.
Yep.
And
He's in that Happy Gilmore 2 movie.
Yeah, nice.
he is.
Quality movie.
Quality movie.
But he's been quoted, he's kind of like the exact opposite of Tiger Woods.
Okay.
And it's surprising because he's the most comparable golfer ever to Tiger Woods, which no one thought would happen. But he's been on record saying a number of times, if I golf is my job. Like, I'm a man first, I'm a husband first, I'm a father first. If golf ever started affecting the relationship that I had with my wife or kids, it'd be the last day you saw me out here.
Far out. I love that.
And yeah, I hold that. It's very hard practically to do that. But again, looking at Tiger Woods, he had everything when it came to golf. And what happened? He's had 3 DUIs, however many affairs, doesn't have a family life or a great relationship, well, perceived relationship with his children.
Yeah.
Because when he went home at the end of the day, who he was as a man, like, he didn't have that stability.
Yeah. Interesting theory, man. Yeah, we probably talk about it forever. But I want to go back to something you said earlier. You made a mistake going to uni. Tell what do you mean by that, and why? Is that your opinion? Is that the new generation? Because just to get the lay of the land, you are to us the new generation.
Yeah.
Like, we're mid-30s and you're mid-20s, I guess, officially, 24.
Old.
So what do you...
Old.
What does that make us? So tell us about uni. Why was it a mistake?
I went to uni for 6 years. I studied 2 degrees. I would call it a university is an institutionalised cultural scam.
Oh my goodness.
For this generation.
That's some big words.
Yeah.
I like that.
Why? Well, why? I think you break it down. Why do you go to university? See, people aren't answering that question. I don't think they've got this like critical thinking of why do you go to university?
To get a good job. That's what
there
people
needs
do.
to be a value transfer.
Uh-huh.
There needs to be like a return on investment. If I'm going to spend 50 grand, sometimes more, on getting a piece of paper, because that's practically what it is, and the skills that come with that, what does that get me at the end of the day? And I don't think that the cost of going to university reaps the benefits at all. And I mean, in my case, my brother didn't go to university. We do the same job now.
Yeah.
Was there upside? Yes. I did an industrial design degree, which is a product design degree. Learnt some great skills there. Learnt some awesome people there. There's value in that degree if I wanted to go down that line of work. Business. I did a business marketing degree. I've had some choice words. I went to a major university in this country. I've sent them scathing words. And
Just randomly, hey, actually, I'm going to write a letter.
This one came to
surveys,
mind.
emails, response to faculty, unit coordinators. I find it disgraceful. My dad, 25 years before me, did a business marketing degree at the same university. He's got a stupidly good memory. Some of the assignments that I did, he's like, I'm not joking.
I did
the exact same.
Stop it.
And
That doesn't feel right.
No, it's not right, because the theory's not the same. What you're learning isn't practically admissible in the world. And it by the end of my degree, I resented particularly the business degree so much. And to the point now where young people in school are like, oh, I want to do a business degree. I'm just steering them far away from it. And I'm pretty vocal on it, and the university's probably, they don't want to be hearing this, but the only way they change is if we put pressure on them. And so my brother says, if you're going to complain about something to me, come with me with a resolution to it. My resolution for universities, particularly business degrees, is I think it should be similar to an apprenticeship. My other brother does an apprenticeship. He gets paid for it. He works bloody hard, but he actually has years of experience before he's a worker, until he's qualified. I think business degrees or lots of other degrees, should be at least 50% practical, like workplace work. And it's difficult for businesses. Maybe there's a kickback there for the businesses or some sort of scheme that, makes it somewhat desirable to train a young person who's unskilled and have them in your office.
Who'll probably leave after they're trained, just speaking from an older generation.
100%.
But other degrees do that. Like a nurse has to work so many hours. Others have to prove their point. As a fellow business degree holder,
I was waiting for you to tag in. How many degrees do you have?
I have 3 degrees. So I one-upped Will just for fun. As a business degree holder, we often laughed about it. And like the only point that I can see that I needed a degree was so that on a piece of paper, which was my resume, where I was compared against another, I ticked the box as having a degree. There was no practical skill, and I worked in a major bank, and there was no skill I took from uni that I used in the major bank.
Same as me.
So there was nothing.
And that's cultural.
Just paper versus paper. It is true. There was no. I didn't need it. I mean, Tom got in and worked for that bank as well without the degree through a loophole. Somehow.
Through a loophole, his brother worked.
His brother worked there and got him in. But I would not have potentially been afforded my first role in one of the key areas in the business bank where I went if I didn't have the degree to compare against the other person who did. So it was like a one on the line. As soon as you're in, doesn't matter, you never needed it, but just for that first tick box for the degree. So if we can solve that bias,
which 10 years time, I think,
might
force change.
As business owners, when we look at resumes and hiring staff, we don't look at the degree as a positive per se. What we look at is that they stuck at something and they got something done. Now, if you've worked at a company for 4 to 5 years and stayed in that company for that period of time, that does the same tick box for us.
100%. I don't actually even know if all our staff have degrees.
I think a few of them do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it doesn't influence us, but you're right. We like the
on
proof of experience.
You've
stuck to something.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
We agree.
But that's about it, And if you don't have a degree, doesn't mean you get crossed off our list. Then we look at your work history or you just like there is some things that we like to see a bit of consistency, which, it doesn't necessarily mean that's right either. And it doesn't mean we don't hire someone because they don't have the consistent history. But I think that's what it does more than anything.
Completely agree. It's an interesting, like I say, this institutionalized cultural scam. It's a big thing to say because there's so many different degrees.
The scam word hurts, I reckon, for a lot of people, but I like it. No, I agree. And it's the practicality versus, the non-practicality. I did my 3rd degree was in nutrition science just because I was having a midlife crisis at 25 like you. And I did that one and that had a level of practical workplace that I had to sign off, just one subject, so very minor in comparison to others, but at least it had a component of on-the-job training. It was free, but like you just had to go a couple of hours a week and get signed off that you turned up a couple of hours a week. So I think small businesses would take on free people for employment, which is what's done in nursing. All that's free. And I don't think that's the right answer still. I think there should be some sort of compensation for the individual turning up and giving their time for free at a workplace. I don't think that's the right answer.
There needs to be a compensation for the business as
potentially,
well.
Or that's built into your university degree or the government fund that component, or I don't know. It's probably a way to think better about that. But then they'd have real experience and potentially they'd get a job in that company that they've just shown that they have real experience in. Like we know a few other brokerages that do bring students in through their training. If they're good, they stay on. If they don't, it's a real test. It's like a real life interview that continues for months. So
I really hope that universities do trend in that direction. It's interesting coming into the AI age, if you call it, of what that will be for a vast amount of degrees. Because we talk about nursing, it's like as much as say uni's a scam, don't go to uni. Some are necessary. Engineers, teachers, nurses, etc. An interesting point, and I'm not sure if you guys have heard about this, Elon Musk. Now, obviously, controversial man sometimes.
I've heard of him.
But typically when he says things technology related, they happen. He said a few months ago on a podcast, and maybe JB can put this up on the screen, he was asked about surgeons and doctors because Tesla are currently doing this, I think it's called Optimus technology, surgical robot doctors. He says in 4 years' time, on a mass scale, there won't be any surgeons, human surgeons. Maybe his timeline's off. but this guy obviously knows what he's talking about for the most part. I don't fully agree with him on a lot of things, but he gets asked then, well, what of university students going to study, becoming a doctor, a surgeon, etc. And he literally says, pointless. And that is scary.
That is scary.
It's really scary.
Because it's not a profession you'd assume would go quicker than others,
No.
because of the period of time it takes for one to
Years.
build up that skill
6 years, maybe
and knowledge
more.
base. But in an age of AI where the answer's at your fingertips and machines can operate better than we've ever imagined, and
I'm
what's
just going to hurt our
next?
surgeon friends out there, but we don't know the intricacies, but they can do things to the millimeter, to the exact machines, right? But I guess they can't adapt in problems. so-
Interpret.
The human
Maybe.
argument always is, if there's like a life or death situation and there's ethics related to it, how does a robot make that decision? And I think that's why there's a human sometimes.
It might make the correct one
Oof.
because human emotions aren't in the. I don't know. It's a crazy thought. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I remember, and ironically, this was a question that we had at uni. I'd never got the real answer to it. Line bike going down a hill at terminal velocity. It has the option to run into a mother with no one, or a pack of children, or two children, and the person can't stop on the bike, but the control center can put the brakes on, choose to kill the person on the bike and the mother or the children. And from an external control, so what do you choose in that case? If the person can't stop the bike, the controls have malfunctioned. Ethically, what's the resolution there?
Well, I think it's a pretty precise scenario. That's probably not going to come around.
But if it did, man, I'm
I
running
don't-
that bike into who I need to run it into. So
But if you take that same example
Sure.
and you put it in a robotics AI sense in the future,
What's
there'll be
their
many-
answer?
Yeah, there's many
What's
cases.
the AI's answer? Have you tried it?
Well, no.
probably give you a different
but
answer
this
every
is
time.
the same argument. So why does a pilot fly a fighter plane?
Yeah.
It's that human, instinctual, moral decision making.
we haven't got right yet.
To be making.
Well,
There's a little scene in the and I don't know how much time I got here to go off topic, but there's a scene in the Imitation Game where they crack the code, the Enigma. Is that the German one? And he there's a scene in there where he's like, we know they're going to strike this ship, and they're like, if we stop it, they'll know we've cracked the code.
Yep.
And he's like, my brother's on board, and they let the ship go down.
They do.
hectic.
So would AI have chosen to do that? Potentially, these were pre. I mean, that was the start of the computer, wasn't it? So yeah, those moral decisions which humans do struggle with, maybe the machine will take over. Are you worried? I'm a little worried. Skynet's upon us.
I think. What did you say?
Skynet's upon us.
Skynet,
Yeah.
yeah, Terminator. I think at the moment, AI hasn't come as quick as we thought it was. 12 months ago, we were probably scared to our bones that brokers might be gone within 6 to 12 months. Look, we're still here, and AI's not even close to getting where we are. I think it's about the adaptation of AI and being for want of a better word, augmented. Enhanced by AI. Is what we've got to do and what we've got to lean in. And that should be in all cases. From, if AI could help a surgeon, then let it help, But I think it's about not necessarily supervision, but still us with our hands on the wheel with something else to assist. And I think that's where we're at as a business, and I think where everyone should lean into. If you're not considering AI, you're not a believer or you're not into it, just look around, don't be a fool. You've got to look at it, you've got to consider it, you've got to learn it. And when you start using it, it'll change your life for a positive. And as soon as there is a robot that can come into my house and wash clothes and cook dinner, I'm all in. Yeah, that's when Steve goes out into the bush. But I'm
No
getting free.
chance, man. I'm buying that house in the bush and I'm getting out of here, man. As soon as
Probably on
it's
that page a bit more.
yeah,
But we're the same. We really lean into AI
You got it.
in
Lean
our
into it.
digital
Yeah.
marketing, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's certainly lagged in terms of
I
a
believe
year
so.
or 2 years ago what we thought it would have happened.
Seems so, and I'm not across the technical side, as Tom knows, but the computing power, the speed of which it was supposed to improve doesn't seem to have come through. And again, that could be significant operator error on this side, which wouldn't
There's a bit of
surprise.
that.
It
But
will be
I
there,
think it will, no doubt. Like it's the Nike tick approach, isn't it? Like it's just going to keep going as we've worked it out, as we continue to work it out.
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, I can't see graphic designers really having much of a job in a year or two.
Yep.
Video editing appears... Well, that's our big one, is if we can get video editors, but that's still a little while away, but it'll be there.
Yep.
And come the time, that will be interesting. I mean, Atlantis, one of the bigger Australian companies, just let go, I think, 1,400 or 1,700 employees immediately, overnight, AI. So it's there. It's only going to get better. There is going to be a lot of less jobs. I think for the young people now that are coming in out of high school, it affects them the most.
Yep.
Or unskilled work in corporate world. That's going to be the interesting space. Administration.
Yep. Who knows what it looks like, but we're not going to solve the problem here.
No,
so,
we can try that.
Yeah, we just got to keep moving forward, left, right, baby. You know?
I think so, and like build your skill set as well. If you're on one of those, roles where you're concerned that, or you can see AI is going to take over, like maybe expand your skill set. Like the opportunity to improve yourself's always there. So have a look and go quickly.
Basically, Ollie, if you're listening, he's my mate and he's a surgeon. Find a new career, bro. He's doing his plastics at the moment, so he's all in.
He's way too busy to be listening to this podcast. He's studying to save lives, mate.
But he's studying at a uni. What a sucker.
Yeah.
Am I right? Cool. All right, well, we spent too much on that subject, but good to flesh it out, I think. Dragons. You support the Dragons? The... St George Illawarra Dragons for NRL.
One of the oldest clubs? Is it the oldest club, or who was?
The Saints was 1908.
Okay.
Yeah. But
the Steelers were a couple decades after that.
Got it.
But
merger.
They're currently on a 15-loss losing streak, and we looked it up before that the Knights currently hold the losing streak at 19. So when this podcast probably comes out, they might be on 17 losses because it's a couple of weeks away.
Because they'll lose to the Broncos for sure. So
this weekend.
What? Who else have they got? Have you looked ahead and gone, that's the one? Because if it's the Broncos, Walshy's going to be...
We've got New Zealand coming. Oh no, we just played New Zealand.
You just played New Zealand?
I think we've got Canberra again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but...
Canberra a bit hot and cold. I mean, you're not a chance, but maybe...
Yeah, I think
we've got yous this weekend.
Oh, no.
I do. I was there last year with yous.
Oh, you were? And it really hurt.
Yeah, it did.
Sharks, then Knights, then Raiders, then Tigers.
Oh,
There's
that
a few-
is...
It's
I
maybe
tell you what,
Tigers.
There's a few.
unless there's people back. Knights?
Cold.
No, they're not. They're hot.
No, hot and cold. And Sharks as well. There's a few. You honestly could get any one of those. You won't, but you could get any one of those.
Really,
They all have a bad game in them, and you could
A record's a record, man. It's nice to hold it.
Yeah.
You may as well.
It's not.
You may as well just lean in and go, you know what?
A record that we don't have a spoon in the St George Illawarra.
Not yet.
Well, you boys do.
Thank you for that.
You boys
Thank you.
do.
It's all
the
about...
Titans only have 2 wins under their belt, so
Your chance.
you're
telling me there's a chance.
I hope there's a spoon
running.
fight.
Dragon heart is there.
Yeah.
The issue being we don't know how to score a point.
No.
So
You
as much as I look at
you
it,
do have an issue tackling players on the other team. There's a real defensive issue there as well. Out wide, in particular, you really struggle, which is hard.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon wait till next year. Man, you got some players
Give us
coming?
players coming. Just got Drinkwater.
Yeah. Sort your coach
you want
out.
to get to next year without holding Nana's spoon.
Well, I think you've got the spoon secured.
I think you got
put that on the shelf.
What
I
are
think
the odds? I think they're like $1.20 something. You guys got the spoon.
less than that.
Gamble responsibly.
you
You win some, you lose more, just like the Dragons.
You just
We don't win some.
you just want to finish the year with a win or two, you know? Like you just want to get off the zero.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever
The naught would be
had a lost season.
they can't.
Never
If the
won.
Knights have only done 19
Knights have
in a
done
row,
If we do that,
the naught season would be.
But I think it might be a good thing. And like, I'm a silver lining kind of guy, right? I'm a positive hat.
There is no,
Let's go.
there's no
no silver lining.
draft that helps for. Like if
but
it was a
there's no
draft, that would have
lottery.
been
But what
great.
does help is that
It's only up from here.
you're a rock bottom.
Yeah, you are.
You know, and at the moment there
do you
could
mean?
be
I'm
there could be
content
further
being rock
bottoms
bottom
and
without
rocks.
a wooden spoon.
I reckon.
Yeah.
What if they
You boys-
keep
I think the
losing?
spoon's guaranteed.
Yeah.
I think you might not win a game for the whole season. I think that's the issue. And if you get to that end of the season, you haven't won a game, they'll probably sign Dean Young. He'll probably be the coach because, good on him.
Who
I
else
guess,
wants
and
to
there's
do
no
it,
one
I
else that
guess?
wants the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
But he has recruited some players. He's got Keon, or maybe that was Shane, but he's got Scotty Drinkwater in his time, and he's now got Luke Metcalf. They're three good players that are coming. And I think that then you can start a whole preseason, and then you've got, all right, last year, you can't get worse because you lost every game, assuming that's the way it goes. And
Is
then
the
it's
draw
like,
out
let's
for
go.
next year yet? Who are you opening up the round in next year?
There isn't any light at the end of the tunnel.
No, not yet.
But if you get a
Till
win,
next
there's a
year.
little bit.
Yeah,
look
true.
at us, we won a game. You
Yeah.
got to remember a game, especially with the new Volandi rules. The momentum swings are astronomical.
They are.
Agreed.
So you can win a game.
Yeah.
Because Penrith, I think, played. I want to say it was the Rabbits or someone a couple of weeks ago. I don't think they touched the ball for 30 minutes. And this is the team that have been pantsing everyone.
Yep.
And so to win a singular game, it shouldn't be that difficult. We were paying $12 to beat Penrith the other night. That's disrespectful. You're saying 12 years in a row we would rock up to this venue with these current circumstances and we wouldn't win an 80-minute game of footy? It's a game of footy. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Nathan Cleary can, rip his Achilles in half like Tanner Boyd in the first minute, and half of the players have the flu that no one knows about.
And they bring on Tamari Martin and still
He scored the
smash you
double
anyway.
against you
So.
guys.
Winning Manly could probably give us a 12-point head start and still beat us
Yes.
at the moment.
Yeah.
On that note, my best mate...
You didn't sell any of that, actually.
Yeah,
You
so
didn't,
you're
you
agreeing
didn't
with
convince
us?
me that.
No, this is how much pain is in my
Sure.
heart
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
I'm actually from a devout Manly family.
Oh.
I'm the black sheep of the family. My other brother is a Titans.
Turns out this year you should have stuck with Manly, I think.
Well,
I mean, both equal starts.
Manly do have a
Little soft spot.
Yeah, a very
Okay.
big soft spot because I was, as the eldest child, handpicked by the grandfather and just said Dragon.
Oh,
Everyone else supports the Sea Eagles. Sea Eagles are, up until about 10 years ago, both teams have a ripe history.
Yes.
And it's been a very tragic 15 years for myself now. And my best mate is maybe a bigger Broncos fan than yourself, Tom,
Whoa.
which is a big thing.
it's a bit cool.
And
Is he going this weekend?
he is. I'm going.
Oh, you're going with him?
as a member.
Very
and,
good.
And went through the ups and downs with him. You boys got the spoon 5 years ago.
Thank you. That's about the seventh time you brought that up.
Choked
Yeah.
a couple grand finals.
Oh, I mean,
1-1.
we did pretty well.
And then you did end up winning on somehow, rigged or whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, it's fair call.
But I said to him, I think 2 weeks ago, I said, hey man, I'm really suffering supporting this team. Seeing that I'm from a devout Manly family, you wouldn't be too mad if I just converted to being a Manly fan, would you? Because I don't know if I can do this anymore. And he just goes, over my dead body, will you
Yeah.
support anyone but the Dragons?
100%. Mate, true fans, they support him in the ups and downs,
It's obviously a joke. I'm not going to.
The wooden spoon to your Broncos, which you've reminded us 10 times now. Thank you for that.
Tough year.
I
It's
all up
I tip the Broncos every week.
You did.
Because you got to be a true supporter. If you're not a true fan, then get out of town. I remember when the Dolphins came into the competition, half my group of mates went, yeah, we're just going to support the Dolphins now. And I hardly wanted to talk to them anymore. I almost lost friendships over that stuff, It's crazy because I cannot comprehend how you can just shift allegiances, It's not who I am.
I do agree. It's my
Yeah.
joke about it.
So, up the Dragons.
Anyway, you should shift allegiances. Yeah.
Up the Dragons, up the Bronx, eh? Yeah, let's see.
I hope it's a good spectacle. It was last year.
It was. Yeah,
Reece
certainly.
Walsh has been shunned from Origin, so I expect him to come out and absolutely shred you guys.
Is
Said that
Ezra
last-
playing or he
last week.
can't because he's in the
He can't.
in the squad?
Yeah, because he's in
So
the
do we have
Origin
Ben
squad.
Hunt and Reynolds or?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think. Sorry, Will.
Yep.
Reynolds' knees
What about
don't
Payne
work.
Haas?
Ben Hunt's a former Dragon, so there's some,
He'll play very
demons
well.
there. Reece Walsh has a smashed face. You say he's going to show up because he didn't get picked at Origin. That happened last week at Magic Round when you had a packed crowd against the Warriors and you got pantsed. So it's a funny argument.
Yeah.
It is a funny argument. Can't
real-
wait to see it.
These are all good points.
The issue being we suck.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Nah, it
do
should be
need
a
a
game.
good. We need a good tune-up game. So thanks in advance.
And
Yeah.
it's Sunday.
I really. If we win this, the clips are going to be outrageous, man.
It's Sunday 2:30 as well. We're bringing the whole family actually, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, it'll be the first game for my daughter and first game for Steve's kids. So
That's how much of a walkover it is.
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Better. We saw it in the calendar and like, that's the one. We know they'll win. That'll be the one.
Yeah, it should be awesome. Cool. Where are we at now?
Life, I guess.
Life?
On more important matters.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything more important than Broncos?
No, there's not.
And the
No.
Dragons?
So we can talk about less important things.
Sure. What about state of economy? I think it's interesting to hear a younger person's point of view, because now that we're old, according to you, which is quite offensive, it'd be good to get your take on it. So Budget Out, which has kind of, get your take on this, and I think I already know it, that's why I want to lead you there. A bit of a two-tier wealth approach now. There's a bit of grandfathering for negative gearing, which means anyone who owns an investment property gets the benefit of negative gearing. But anyone who now buys an established residential property, so brand new ones, you still negative gear, but established residential property, you don't get negative gearing. How does that make you feel as the generation coming through who has to build their wealth from property like every other Australian?
Well, it's a great irony,
It
isn't
is.
it? That the federal budget's coming out to help first home buyers, and it does the exact opposite. A little bit, I know we talk about the 5% deposit scheme in the same sense that it's supposed to help first home buyers, and it does, but there's still no wealth in that generation, so it's helping people that do have the capital and the capacity to buy property. It's an interesting time. I mean, I'm a Gen Z. You look at the generational difference of, average wage, cost of living. It's going to take 10, 15 years plus a partner for someone to work a typical job and even think about owning a property. That is ridiculous. And I'm quite vocal, and I think there needs to be change in that space, but practically that's very difficult.
Yeah.
So
Sure is.
what is there to say about it? I mean,
Does it feel unachievable? And do you think you're not alone in that thought? If it does.
I'm in a unique space as a business owner and blessed to be in that it's like, and especially talking to some renowned skilled brokers on the opportunities that we have. So to plug for you boys, you've got more opportunities than you think.
100%.
Talk to a broker.
Right on.
Open my eyes about it. But I'm speaking from experience with my mates. That's what our generation feels like, that it's unattainable. It certainly feels that way, which is super sad because, that's always been pitched as the Australian dream.
Yeah.
But
So what do you do when you feel like it's unattainable? Do you lean the other way? Do you invest or something? Or do you just go, let's rent, let's travel and, F this economy and F this country?
100%. Do you think about wealth? Because you're still quite young to have that thought.
that's a good question.
I was thinking about being rich when I was 18.
But were you putting any steps in place?
Nah.
No.
I was drinking some
So
beers
maybe
going, one day I'm going to be rich.
thinking about it, like we listen to a few other podcasts and the like, who are put 50% of your income aside. There's all this and you'll know some of these raise, what's the share one that it skims your expenses and invests for you? RAIZ.
Yeah.
Again,
It can round up your expenses.
we're not in any way affiliated, nor do I think they're super valuable. But again, if you're doing something to invest.
I've travelled a bit, so that answers a little bit of it in the sense of I think that you've got to love your life and experience the world versus, I do have mates that save and save and save and invest. Do I think about building wealth? I'd actually say the short answer is no, I don't. I'm a God-fearing man and a Christian. I'm not sure if you boys knew that, but I mean, the Bible says that what is it to sell your soul and gain the riches of the world, essentially. Not that I want to sell my soul or that I don't want to acquire capital and wealth in my time, but to the extent of it sacrificing my entire life for it, I won't ever do that. So I always say I want to be free and sovereign and have a family and enjoy my life. And so I don't need wealth to do that. It would be advantageous.
I like that, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the happiness in pursuit.
Absolutely. So it can't be at the cost of everything is what I would say. And so I certainly put a priority on relationships in my life and yeah, I have mentors, and then mentor is what I certainly advocate for. And overwork yourself to death. Even though I work a lot, and which is the great irony, but it's a heart posture that I would say of what truly do you want in your deepest being. What is it that fulfills your purpose in life?
It's deep, man.
Very deep.
I think it's a balance between enjoying the journey, but still focusing on the destination.
Big time.
And I think lots of people have a perception that one day they're going to be successful, and one day everything's going to be okay, and one day they'll retire and be able to do whatever they want. My thought is, why wait? Which sounds like pretty similar to you. But if you enjoy the journey too much, then you've got no future as well. So I think it's a never-ending balance of trying to figure out what's what. And, abundance is the culture of Australia and probably the world, but we don't probably all need heaps of abundance, Living within your means and enjoying your life is the goal. But that is a airy-fairy sentence that doesn't actually mean anything because it means so much different things to everyone. I don't know what the answer is, man, but I'm certainly in the enjoy the journey camp.
You've talked about that.
100%.
Work hard so I can see my family, and then you get to 55 and it's like, well, it's time to see my family, and they're working hard.
Yes.
So
the finish line doesn't make any sense to me.
Not at all.
And it also scares me a little bit, When you are in a place where you don't have to work as much, what then? And that's probably the identity thing I was speaking earlier, but yeah, I don't know, I probably love it. Yeah, probably go to the gym and see my kids.
Play some golf.
So there's so much golf, have some beers. There's so much golf you can play,
I think steps towards it every day though. I think having the awareness and self-awareness isn't something we often have, and you get stuck on a loop where you just go to work, come home, and everything's repetitive. But if you don't have the awareness that it is quite fun, running a business is quite fun. There is a lot of joy in that, and then still balancing it to see family, looking after yourself physically, mentally. Yeah, I think if you can get it, and the rush to having that end goal is appealing, but I don't think it's the right approach for many people. And that's what I think if you're talking about wealth, just little steps can make the difference between wealth, and running your own business is a great wealth producer. So you're building wealth anyway, just by running your own business, rather than taking on a salary that potentially then you need to invest elsewhere to replace. So how good?
Yeah, it's a great, it's the great advantages of owning a business. I mean, I do feel like Uncle Sam gives us a slap on the chin every
6 different ways, brother.
Yeah. But yeah, well, it's a blessing to have that capacity, because you can sort of see the end goal. Well, not the end goal, but what you're aspiring towards, and the flexibility of being a business owner, which is why we do it.
Yes.
Yeah. End goal though. Yeah. I do struggle with the end goal.
Yeah, that's not the right word.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Chris Williams, the podcaster from Modern Wisdom, absolute legend. And if you don't listen to that stuff, listen to it. He says, once you're successful and once you get to the top of the mountain, the view's not nearly as good as you think it is. Which I think is always really interesting. And he's like, he's now on a journey to tell entrepreneurs that are hungry as to get to that end goal that it's not worth it.
Wow.
But he struggles to thread that needle to not tell people to give up, that it's still worth pursuing. But once you're at the top of the mountain, the view's not that good.
The Tiger Woods,
Hectic.
same deal. Tom
Spot
Brady,
on,
all
man.
of them.
Yeah.
We are, I suppose, the difference, and tying into a sort of a self-plug in a way, but we are a relational marketing agency, which is vastly different to, I would say, our competitors. It does probably make our business unsellable, because all of our clients we have great relationships with.
Yes.
And we are very, very selective in who we work for. And that's what we see purpose in doing. We work for 4 non-for-profits at the moment, which is it's very rewarding. Definitely more difficult than working with a business. And a couple of them we essentially work for free. So, but I cannot describe how fulfilling that is, and the joy that it brings to be able to advance those not-for-profits in their pursuit of what their organisation does, and then to see the fruits of that is absolute blessing on our company.
It's cool, man. It's honourable what you guys do, and we're huge fans. Just to plug you guys even more, without our social media doing what it's doing, without all the marketing and the media that you guys do, we wouldn't be where we are today. So shout out, Outcast boys, appreciate it.
And there'd be no podcast for
Whew.
all of our listeners.
Imagine that. All of our listeners would cry.
Yeah.
Without such glorious content coming out. But man, we've played for too long. So thanks, Will Heath, mate. Appreciate you coming.
Thanks.
Final question I like to ask everyone. Favourite movie of all time?
I actually prepared for this one in advance.
Did you?
I did. I was
That's
like, what's
cheating.
it? Well, everyone's been put on the spot, and then you
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
I haven't got an elegant answer for you.
Happy Gilmore too.
I'm a massive Star Wars fan.
Oh, okay.
Indiana Jones, Pirate of the Caribbean, Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings. They're all movie
They're all
series.
fantastic.
Yes.
My favourite standalone movie of all time, V for Vendetta.
Oh, really?
And I'm not sure if you boys
I've seen it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
just a little bit of a irony. We watched it when I was in school because they were like, this is what a dystopian society is like. And this, I think, not to get,
We've done so well. We've done so well.
But,
Let's go.
To see how life has progressed coming in near 10 years later to what is in that movie and how we live life now. I'm like, wow,
I want something.
very interesting.
All right, everyone, put your tinfoil hats on, and we'll be back for the next episode.
100%.
Thanks, gents.
Episode 2. Look for it. We've got stuff to talk about. Let's go. Thanks, Will.
See you, mate.